It's qualifying day in Monaco, always one of the most important and intense track sessions of the year. And of course, we're very excited.
It was tense in the pits that day. It always is here, small and cramped like a pressure cooker.
Nico's first hot lap looked very fast and committed, one in the bag. Lewis, though, was significantly slower. He so desperately wants that first Monaco pole.
It is going to come down to that blink and you miss it moment.
Well, that's what we're expecting.
It's almost balletic, the way Nico's and Lewis's cars are reversed back into the Mercedes garage together, the calm before the storm.
Lewis has just won 4 races in a row. His teammate has to do something.
Nico goes out first. All 10 cars, and Hamilton being the last one of those, out on the racetrack.
And then with exactly 1 more minute on the clock,
we now watch Nico Rosberg start what will be his final lap.
Nico or Lewis? Who's going to get pole? The battle is on.
We're on board with Nico, and you can see he's pushing really hard. And then picks up the throttle early and hard, wanders around that big bump. Oh, that's too deep, that's too deep.
Mirabeau goes that way, but Nico goes this way.
I'm hearing what happened in commentary. They were so close on track, Lewis is going to have to slow down.
And that's Rosberg's qualifying over and done with. He's on provisional pole.
You can't get it out of there. It's too tight to do a U-ey in there. We see Lewis exit the tunnel, and it's clear immediately.
What of Lewis Hamilton then? Let's pick him up now.
Backed off through the yellow. Rosberg created his own pole position and spoiled our fun. Well, that was my first impression.
My interpretation was different.
We saw a few years ago, Martin, Michael Schumacher park at this very corner here and deny Fernando Alonso the chance to get pole on the day. And this time it wasn't some ploy from Nico Rosberg.
I'm looking at the replays with Damon. The movement of the car just doesn't look right.
He is not going to be very amused at all.
There's a certain tension and awkwardness to the whole thing.
His teammate knows he's made an error, and no Formula One driver likes to make an error, but he's going to celebrate pole anyway.
The snappers wanted their happy photo, but the Mercedes drivers didn't want to be anywhere near each other.
I don't think these two gentlemen have actually said a word to each other yet.
Uh-oh. Got to interview these two in a minute. This could be interesting.
Ricciardo comes into the pits in the Red Bull. The handshakes begin, but nothing between the Mercedes drivers.
Hamilton is not a happy man.
Putting myself in his shoes, I'd be angry too, and suspicious.
Tried hard to be quicker because Lewis gave him a hard time, and he braked late and nearly lost it. I tell you, if he would have tried to go the corner, he would have crashed.
Nico's mistake, ironically, and the subsequent yellow flags meant that you couldn't improve on your lap, your feelings.
Yeah, it is ironic.
OK, I'm up next.
Of course, I'm sorry for what happened to Lewis. I didn't know where exactly he was.
A stony-faced Lewis enters the pen.
It's a strange situation to be in.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever been in that position before.
There isn't any feeling that there's anything cynical in this, is there?
Who knows?
You think he could have done it deliberately?
I wasn't saying that.
I remember it so clearly. I was standing right here and I asked 3 different championship-winning team bosses what they thought. They all thought Rosberg had done it deliberately.
I was on the pole lap.
I honestly don't think it's in the boy to do that. I was struggling to imagine Rosberg would do such a thing.
But then we hear that Nico is under investigation from the stewards about what happened in Mirabeau. They think there's a case to answer.
What do you say to those who believe you did it on purpose?
Well, it's easy for me to show that because it will be clear in the data that nothing's majorly different.
What a session that was, and a defining moment for the relations between the two men and the World Championship. Nico Rosberg was found innocent by the stewards and went on to win his 2nd consecutive Monaco Grand Prix from pole position. Around the tortuous streets of Monaco, where overtaking is so difficult, Saturday is just as important as Sunday.
In Monaco, the most important thing is starting from pole.